Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another falconry video. And I've thought about how I'm going to do this video, and I thought I'll show you the action. I'll do lots of videos, and I thought, you know what, you've recently seen a red letter day, action packed, loads of footage, loads of great stuff. This one's, I'm going to do it slightly differently. We've had Tom Carnahan there, we had Steve McGuinness there, we had Dan Williams, who else? Pete, Freebird of Reason, all wielding their cameras. Pete, Freebird of Reason, his channel on YouTube, he's going to do a video of the day. He's never been hair hawking before, so I thought, you go and watch that video on Freebird of Reason. Click over there, give him a bit of love on his YouTube channel, see some action footage of the day, let him explain what happened from his perspective, someone new to hair hawking. He brought his Harris Hawk Woody along, male Harris Hawk, never seen a hare in its life. My goodness me, the first day he followed those hares and floated as Harris Hawks do, made up his mind, had a look at them. The next day he thought, yeah, that's just a big rabbit. He put in some splendid slips and chases. But go and watch that over there. Remember, Freebird of Reason. I've decided to get the best of all the still images and produce here almost a slideshow of some of the most wonderful English countryside, some of the absolute top level falconers in England, certainly of ground quarry, and some of top level birds. So bird-wise in falconers, Tom Carnahan and Little Thomas, forgot his name then, Flying Little Thomas, and Mike Hewlett was actually sort of flying Little Thomas most of the time. Kyle with his female household Zara, you know who these guys are if you're on this channel. You've got Tommy with his dynamite male Harris Hawk. The slip of the day, the man of the match, was a slip from that male Harris Hawk, that imprint Harris Hawk from Tommy. I think we saw such spectacular falconry, but I think we'll all agree, those that saw that male Harris Hawk late on the first day take on a hare that was at least 150 yards away when it got up, and then fly 500 yards and fly down that hare over that distance, not missing one single wing beat, and getting hold of a hare. It couldn't hold it. Tommy couldn't run 500 yards as fast as that. Amazing. We saw some stunning stuff. I'm going to let you be privileged to see that in a nice relaxing video where you can just chill out and watch some spectacular falconry through the lens of some spectacular photographers of wildlife and falconry. We had a lot of people there. I like to always, towards the end of usually the last day of the season, invite people that are friends that like to see falconry. The trio that are the Icarus Gardeners, that, goodness me, we owe them so much. They came along, they loved it. And we're talking 9 miles a day over fields, and some of us carrying a lot of kit, quarry and our birds. But even for most people that aren't falconers, walking 9 miles a day over English farmland, that's tough going, and they did it. Lots and lots of different people. I'm not going to name them all because I'll forget one of them and I'll feel embarrassed. So that's how we're going to do this. Now, the thumbnail, there's an interesting picture. I didn't want to put the sequence in of those pictures. Do you know why? Because a couple of them, I cannot believe how fat, bald and ugly I actually am. So I thought I'll omit them, but they're too important for the sequence. But I'm going to tell you about the thumbnail, not far in, don't worry, you don't want to watch it all, not far into this video. I'll explain exactly what happened there, because it's a picture that could crop up on the internet and be taken so out of context, certainly by antis or anti-eagle falconers. So I'll tell you from a falconer's point of view exactly how that happened. Enjoy the first bit of the video. So last field meeting of my season, Zeus is back out. His talon hasn't grown back, but it's healed up and it's not giving him any pain. I'm going to take him out for a fly, really. Really windy today over the fields. And we're mob-handed with spectators and 5 or 6 birds flying. One of those days. Bit of a social, bit of fun, out in the countryside. Kyle and Tommy are over there, trying to get a slip for Tommy's foot. Kyle's walking a bit funny because there's one of his boots. Right just there, he's got a blister, he's in agony, now he's walking around with one boot on while someone else covers his boot. The things people do, eh? Well, someone I forgot to mention in the intro, Richie Latham flying his bird, his eagle Vixen. That bird, I don't know, I think, yeah, in England, maybe Europe, maybe the world, I don't know. But that bird in one season has taken a phenomenal head of quarry. It's only a 2nd-year bird. Absolutely fantastic. And not many people this season have managed to put a Dave Sharp in the game bag. So what really happened? Why was I wearing 2 eagles? Well, luckily, having flown and worked with Wurzel the bald eagle for many years, I had the pleasure of working with a bald eagle in its first year that was designed to be a soaring display bird. And this is what happens. The bird goes up, it's young, it's an eagle. Eagles are very much hierarchical. They certainly top of the food pyramid, apex predators. And your bald eagle or your soaring eagle like that, it's going to go up and it's going to think, it soon works out, hang on, this flying hurts my wings. I don't want to go to the gym every day, really, because they don't want to fly. And he thinks, I know you've got the food, because at the end of the flying, when you call me, you give me the food. So therefore, you've got my food. I don't want to fly any longer. You're trying to make me fly longer by waving your arms about. Now, I'm coming in. And if you don't put your glove up, I'm just going to smash you into the ground and find where the food is. And of course, if you do put your glove up with the food hastily retrieved from your pocket or your game bag, that eagle's trained you that when it says it's coming down for its dinner, it's coming down for its dinner. So you have to use your glove as a shield and, like a matador with an incoming bull, sidestep at the last moment. And as the young eagle learns to fly better, that soaring display eagle is like, it's like trying to fend off a giant wasp. It comes in zigzagging because it really wants to get its hold of your falconry bag and get the food. So I've long since learnt to dodge eagles coming down from a stoop that want to tell me that they're going to be served their food when they want to. So what happened there with a golden eagle? A line of beaters mixed in, obviously, with other falconers with their birds. The eagle missed a hare. It was heading our way, went up into the wind, came over, and just like sometimes your hawks will attack your dog out of frustration, but they won't very often attack a strange dog because they're usually quite nervous and scared of strange dogs. That eagle saw an eagle falconer dressed in all the regalia it expects, knowing the food's there, and it thought, I'm either gonna whack that other eagle and take my frustration out on it, or I'm gonna just go in and that guy better put his hand up because he's a falconer, he's got a game bag on, he better give me the food. So all I did was stand there, just like I've done, luckily practiced on a bald eagle years ago. I saw Vixen lock her eyes straight onto me or Zeus, so I just stood my ground, and you just get a one go at dodging at the very last second. So it was a case of, at the very last second, move Zeus right away, duck my head out of the way and jump forward a second, and you saw she slid down my back and grabbed hold of my hood. Now what I didn't want to happen was her to swing her legs up on my neck or my face. So what I actually did, I slid my right hand up, grabbed hold of her leg, slid it up her leg to her armpit, and just held her at arm's length as far as I could, up and away from me. She's hanging onto my hood. I didn't know, I knew that leg was on my hood, but I didn't know where the other foot was, and I just wanted to make sure she was at my arm's length, meaning her legs weren't long enough to swing up any further and grapple another part of me in frustration. And you see on the slideshow, the boys were there. Kyle and Tommy were already running to sort of help out if needed, and as was of course Richie, running flat out to retrieve his eagle from me. So no, it wasn't an attack of random, and it could have been someone else. That bird knew I was an eagle falconer, and it definitely wanted to take its frustration out by clouting my eagle or clouting me and getting a reward out of my pocket. But it certainly had the adrenaline running there for a moment. No harm done, smiling all the way. Yeah, I think it made a few onlookers wonder what the heck was going on. Enjoy these images and go on and enjoy a lovely slideshow of some really just outstanding, wonderful falconry images that I'm certainly going to look back on through the close season. It is the end of the season for me. I stopped hawking hares by the end of February. They're already breeding. In fact, there's already leverets around. Hares like muntjac, even wood pigeons, in our mild winters, some of them will breed all year round. But once they start courting and boxing, it's time to wrap up your falconry and let those animals chill out and relax for sure. Enjoy. Biggest thanks of all, of course, have to go to Steve the gamekeeper as well as the landowners, because the way that land is managed, not only for pheasant and partridge shoots, but for wildlife as a whole, for farmland to be so well managed for all of wildlife, lots and lots of work done for all different wildlife, and it's going to be ongoing. In fact, water voles are something we're now looking into because we've got some good habitat. Maybe well worth reintroducing water voles, but we've got great crested newts on site, and we've got so many different insects and birds. But something it's heavily managed to protect is the brown hare. As I've told you in previous videos, there's loads of habitat purely to provide brown hares a home. It has lots of brown hares, and there's a complete hunting ban. Always, there's no hunting of brown hares, apart from a few days a year for us eagle falconers, because as I've mentioned in previous videos, we might catch a couple, but we're not going to catch many. Enjoy.